It's day 13, January 17th. We're a little over halfway through sacred season. I'm Jason, here to talk about serving today. A couple context points for me related to serving. I can absolutely say serving has changed my life and my spiritual walk. It helped me to see that Sundays weren't just a show that happened from start of service to the end of service, and it really helped me open up to what God was trying to do here in a way that I wasn't before I was serving. It also got me here consistently week after week because I had commitments. People were counting on me to be here, and being here week after week was something that wasn't happening before. And ultimately, since I've started serving over 12 years ago, I've never not served here outside of a couple months during COVID. So as we're talking through this, I say that so you know this is very real and very active in my life. First off, when we're talking about spiritual things, I think it's important to say this isn't a salvation issue, serving, right? You're not going to hell if you don't serve. You're not a terrible Christian if you're not serving. But it has a role to play, just like prayer, just like worship, giving, fasting, evangelism, etc. Serving is part of a healthy Christian walk. And that's going to look different from person to person. Some people are powerful prayer warriors. Some people are incredible evangelists. Some people are incredible servants. It's going to look different, and you have to know what that is for you. But it does play a role. You can't overcompensate by not serving in one area and doing something else in a different area. Serving still has a part, no matter what your giftings are. It's like going to the gym, you're working out. It's not quite like skipping leg day, but it's like not doing your calf raises. Like you're still missing out on part of what God has to do in your life by not serving. So why do we serve? First, well, God needs you, kind of, right? God is supernatural. He can and does do incredible miracles without humans whatsoever. But most often, and I would argue, he prefers to work through us than to purely just do the supernatural, right? God delegated authority to us over creation. And imagine when you delegate something to someone else to do, you would rather they just do it and kill it and be excellent at it. But if they aren't, cool, right? You'll find someone else to do it. You'll do it yourself if you have to. So God doesn't need you to do it, but you're a key part of that. He prefers it that way. Secondly, why do we serve? Well, the ministry needs you. Kind of. Let's be very clear. This ministry is not going to be stopped from one person not serving, but it absolutely will be hindered if we aren't all doing our part. There's more kingdom work that God wants to do through this ministry than any one person or any one family can do. We've all got to do our part. And think about all the different things the ministry does that you appreciate, you value, you think are important, that if someone wasn't here serving to do, wouldn't get done. So the ministry needs you, kind of, but it certainly will be hindered. Most importantly, why do we serve? That's because you need you to serve. There's accountability that comes with it. There's humility that comes with it. There's community that comes with it. And I say that as an introvert who, doesn't love a lot of community and, so many friends, but I still know that's important in my walk. And there's a sense of purpose that comes from serving. So now that you know why you're serving, who are you serving? Well, the easy answer is, of course, we're serving God. But think to yourself how many times someone's asked you to do something, and your answer depends on who's asked you to do it. Does your answer change if pastor asks you, or team director, or team leader, or if you like the person or don't like them? If it does, that should be a little trigger for some introspection on who it is you're really serving in those moments. Are you trying to gain favor and influence with them, or are you really serving because of God? Does it hit different if certain people ask you to do something? Yes. And that's fine as long as your answer doesn't change because of that. And ultimately, when you're serving God and having that as the reason why you're doing things, you're much more likely to push through the difficulties and push through inconveniences because you're focused on ultimately who you're serving there. We'll end with a couple of scriptures to paraphrase for me that stood out when it comes to serving. Proverbs 11:25, he who waters will also be watered. As you're serving, you're going to reap some benefit from that as well. Hebrews 13:17, obey your leaders, submit to them, let them do this with joy and not with groaning. Again, if people are asking you to do something, honoring those commitments. Another one I love, Colossians 3:23-24, whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men, for you serve the Lord Christ. Finally, it's incredible. The whole chapter, James, is incredible. James 2:14-17. James is essentially saying we can't just be thoughts and prayers people, right? We have to put action behind that. If someone's cold and hungry, you can't just say, be warm and be filled, and all will be well. Faith without works is dead. So Friday, coming into the weekend, love to see you guys, whatever campus you're at, showing up there, push through. What an incredible season this is. Keep going.
That was perfect.